It would be understandable if you went through Xenoblade 2 and never realized Mor Ardain was having a civil war, especially if you don't delve into all of the side quests. But if you ask me, this is one of the most interesting things in All Rest's world building. On the surface it may just look like Mor Ardain is very politically divided, but not in a state of civil war. But there are actually 3 known sides of this civil war, and it does cross the line of intense ideological disagreements. The first side are the good guys and legitimate government you are most familiar with, the democratic monarchy led by Emperor Niall and Special Inquisitor Morag. This is the established regime that mixes the sole ruler with a set of representative nobles requesting and seemingly vetoing the Emperor's orders if the majority disagree with him. The Ardainian Senate is quite comfortable going against the Emperor, in part because of his young age. The Special Inquisitor seems to be the commander of the military forces and takes on a role similar to the FBI and CIA, in investigating criminal acts against the government from within and abroad. The second, and seemingly largest opposing faction, is Brionac, even going so far as to occupy a region just outside the capital and openly oppose the established regime with an immensely sizable army, and many resources. Resources funneled to them by certain senators, most notable being Roderick, who seems to be the undercover leader in the Ardainian Senate, and who violates Niall's orders despite not having achieved a veto majority, and being instructed not to by Morag. Brionac seeks to overthrow the current regime and enact their expansionist values. They believe Mor Ardain needs to expand the empire and occupy more titans, first on their list being Uriah, the next most powerful kingdom in All Rest. Given the impending death of Anningham, the titan the empire is based on, they feel this is the only course of action and believe the ends justify the means, given Niall's kind-hearted nature they perceive as naivety that will lead to the fall of the empire. Other notable figures in the Brionac faction include the public leader, Walrag, and his blade Akatsuki. To avoid compromising the movement, he ordered Akatsuki to make good on a pact to kill him if they had no way out. Before Akatsuki returned to his core, he realized the third side had betrayed them and dropped their name. Other low-ranking leaders include Erod, Bianc, and Wiggins, and the former member, Rodri, a Gormati who only joined because the Ardainian occupation took his job, and he wanted to support his family, and in desperation took a high-paying position in Brionac before his son, the Gormati who joined the Ardainian army to support his family, because Brionac kept moving the pavement goalposts for Rodri, comes looking for him. The third and seemingly very small side is Lindworm. Though to be fair, Lindworm itself has no concerns with Mor Ardain politics, but nonetheless is funding a faction of Ardainians who call themselves Lindworm. The Lindworm faction's goals are unclear, besides that they want to attack and dethrone Niall. They are very secretive, working mostly in the shadows and using others to do their dirty work. Case in point being Senator Stolk, who aligned with Brionac only to betray them by giving the party the locations to Erod, Bianc, and Wiggins to have the party kill them. When Brionac began to suspect he was a traitorous worm, Stolk told the party they would have to find Walrag, but likely left clues for the party to find. In the end, Stolk managed to have all of Brionac's leaders killed and walk away with Akatsuki's core crystal. Other notable members of this faction include Dr. Castofari, who kidnapped children from around the world to try to turn them into artificial blade human hybrids, and likely Dugall. However, these last two may be aware of the real Lindworm's agenda and be aligned with the true Lindworm. Lindworm is actually a Nopon-run New World Order syndicate. I'm not joking with you. Former Chairman Bana, his father Don Don Don, and his lackey Zadazan, and Pupunin, Mui Mui, and the rest of Bana's people are the masterminds behind Lindworm. They seek to destabilize every nation in All Rest, so they can create a new world order. They want the Aegis, so they can use it to threaten All Rest into going along with their schemes. And they want an army of artificial blades for much the same reason. Lindworm tried to assassinate Niall and the Queen of Uriah to reduce both nations into a panic at once and likely trigger a war that would leave the two strongest powers in tatters. Lindworm is playing all sides in an attempt to gain control of the whole world. Let me know if you put all of this together yourself. I didn't realize I went quite this deep until I went back to finish up the quests. I knew of Briannock and their violent opposition, but Lindworm's place didn't click on my first playthrough. Oh, and subscribe, share, and like if you want.